So this book, Originals, was recommended to me by a mentor, and it didn't disappoint at all. Basically, it talks about how original people think and act, and how they come up with new ideas, and how they then share those ideas with the world, right? Now, one thing that Grant, the author of this, points out is that being original doesn't always mean taking big risks. He shows that a lot of famous people and a lot of creative folks like Einstein and Henry Ford as examples. Now, one thing that the author points out in this book is that being original doesn't always mean taking massive risks that leave you with a lot of potential downside. He talks a lot about creative people and famous people like Einstein and Henry Ford, to name a few, and how they actually had stable jobs while they pursued their wild ideas on the side, because then they had that level of security, which allowed them to be more flexible and a lot more innovative in their creative pursuit. Now, another interesting point is that having big ideas isn't the hard part, right? It's then picking the best ones and executing on them. The author talks about how most people are too confident in their own ideas and they don't communicate them well to others. He also talks about how your birth order can then influence how risky and how creative you are and your tolerance to both. More importantly, it also delves into parenting and how to raise kids who then think outside the box, which obviously if you're a young entrepreneur, that specific chapter doesn't pertain to you. But for somebody like me who's 33, who has a kid and another one on the way, it really kind of got me thinking outside the box and how I'm going to shape my future kids' minds right from the jump. It more or less talks about the why, right? And the reason behind the rules rather than just enforcing them blindly, and then explaining it and praising a child's character rather than just their specific actions, right? It's about nurturing that internal drive to be original and actually execute and get the things done that they need to, right? Focus on the important things. And here's another cool little nugget. Having a diverse viewpoint in a group can actually make it more successful, right? If everybody is living in an echo chamber where they all think the same thing, well, then there's going to be no innovation. There's going to be no creativity, and nobody is, hence the name, original, right? Now, it's not just about having someone play devil's advocate, of course. It's about genuinely considering and being open to other perspectives, because even if you don't agree with it, it might start to get you thinking about how your position could be flawed and what other parts of the other argument you could take and add to your product, service, or your argument, of course, to make it even better or make it stronger than it was before. Now, overall, it's jam-packed with stories. It's jam-packed with research, literally jam-packed with research that will blow your mind, and jam-packed with tips on how to break the mold and how to do something crazy and amazing in any industry, right? Now, it's obviously a bit focused on business and entrepreneurship, which I love, but there's still plenty of wisdom for anybody that wants to think differently and make a difference. Grab it. Can't recommend it enough.